When I was researching disease X, my way, all signs pointed to this, and I mean all. This is worse than death. The demonic leaders of America are self-destructing and they're trying to take you with them. You have about 5 years to move to a safe area, and I'll tell you where. I've been studying this for a while. The disease is already out, they're just not telling the public. They don't want you to survive, of course. But this will be the end. This is the end of America. This is it. What they're not telling you is that zombies are a soul trap. You can literally shoot a zombie in the head and kill it, and it will keep the soul. It will trap the soul in limbo. So, the Illuminati's getting a 900-year mind-only white noise sentence, meaning just the mind, no senses. And in war, because war is on humanity, there will be casualties of war. So they're trying to get you to serve a 900-year sentence with them. This is how serious this is. This is lifetimes at stake. I'm just saying, I would want the choice of reincarnation. That makes this worse than death. Let's not end up another Antarctica. We need emergency evacuations now. Don't let them tell you it'll be too late then for most people. We're not going into World War III. That's the facade. They're all buddies. We're going into World War Z.
Lottoriddles intel. We intelling on them. They didn't think I knew that, did they? We intelling on them.
This will trigger an ice age. We are going through a massive extinction. Millions of people will die. So you just want to try to save as many as you can. Within the next 15 years are going to probably be the worst years in history. The devil is getting uprooted. They got to die. They shouldn't be living past 2040. And so they basically have the bomb strapped to their chest and they're going into the building full of people, and they're self-destructing. You can see that zombie over there. He's in white noise. That's a mind jail for 900 years. That is not something you want. That is currently something souls are going through right now, because they haven't told you what reality is really like. But they're gonna release the crack, and this will be a lot of people's future. The worst part is people are in a war that they're unaware of, and we are in the end game. So if you notice, 2025 has been crazy because this has been the main year that they've been going in. It's only gonna get worse. I'm sorry. Like, when this is done, once the dust start to settle, this will be a different reality. And I'm gonna back up what I'm saying. All right, so we can really dive deep into this. Now I'm gonna say some really heavy stuff because people need to understand just how serious this is. I'm being serious, and hopefully this one is positive. This is one of the worst times to commit suicide. They've lied a lot about what the afterlife is. And so in this era we're going in, especially this period, you don't want to be offing yourself. I mean, I'm for suicide prevention anyway, but this would be the worst time. Your best bet is to try to live through this. I want to show you something about this sign that's popping up because it's kind of slick. Look at it closely. Notice how that N is blinking. It's a subliminal Z. It's just turned sideways. From the lands I've studied, and I should be getting closer to it, but when you take a look at where the N is, most of these places in America where the N is covering, that's a Z for zombies, will be wiped out. They will. Now there's some places on there that will be wiped out too that's not fully complete. You could tell they couldn't do it perfectly, but that's about everywhere that's getting hit, and then some more, just to give you an idea of how bad this will be. And of course, New York City, you in one of the worst possible areas. But that N, I thought that was very slick because a lot of the places I know is in that N. It's covered, and about half, give or take, of the US will not be livable. So everybody bunkering down, that's not a good idea if you're in a hot zone. It's not gonna do any difference if when the lands are frozen and submerged underwater. But I thought that was very slick. Now again, this isn't 100% accurate, and this will be a pandemic. So not just America will be hit, but I'm focusing on America right now. So yeah, I thought that was very slick of them, but we'll keep it moving. If you think about it, it's actually kind of like a nuclear bomb. We know those don't exist, but it's kind of like that given the damage it's about to do. So you can kind of look at it that way. Again, this World War III stuff, don't pay attention to that. AI, artificial intelligence, you see it beaming. That's an existential threat as well. I do not support AI at all. Look, it's best that you come across this information as quickly as possible because you are able to mentally prepare for it. It's a scary situation. They're trying to hold off on saying what it really is. They're calling it's a hypothetical pathogenic disease that doesn't exist. They're lying. When people find out about this, they're going to be losing their minds. They're going to be panicking. I'm talking about induced heart attacks. This is going to freak, especially Americans. They don't know how to handle panic. You want to already be mentally prepared for this because this has been going on far longer than they've been even talking about. I'll go into the history and I'm going to get to like places, safe places to go, things you can do to protect yourself with this situation, because this is like something where it's like I couldn't believe this was real, and I can take a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of things doing this job, and this is one of the worst, if not the worst. So you want to go ahead and just mentally prep. About 2030 is it's gonna jump off. They're probably gonna say something earlier than that. You probably hear about it 2027-ish, because they're already talking about it. If you look up disease X, they just trying to play coy. They trying to act like they don't know what it is. The group of 20, all of these researchers getting together for something they don't know. Stop. All right, I'm gonna let you know, because the universe has to send out somebody to help the people and let them know what's really going on, so humanity can keep trucking after these devils are gone. As you just saw, those rats, she just got attacked by rats. They're all throughout the game. And probably when you see zombie things, there's going to be rats involved, because the disease, that virus, was created by rats. I was looking up the group of 20, the world leaders come together and they have their conferences. They present work by the top researchers. And they mentioned, and you can look this up, they mentioned about how some Ukrainian soldiers was coming down with quote unquote mouse fever. See, that's code language. They know what it is. They know it's coming, and they're saying it without saying it, and they're keeping people out of the loop, and that's very dangerous. This is why we're getting a new regime. Now, when I say it was created by rats, I'm not saying rats did it. I'm saying they used rats to create it, and they were trying to create something for this thing for a very sinister reason that I'll get into. So when all of their dirt comes out, all of the evil, demonic things they've been doing to try to kill off the people, they literally just come up with things all day long to try to destroy the population. It's all about to be exposed. So you can look at this created pandemic, because they're doing this. They're getting everything in place. They're rushing fast. They're in code red. This is kind of their kill switch. Now that they gotta leave, they want everybody to leave with them, and this is their plan. So when you hear about this, you're probably gonna know by that time, because a lot of people are gonna wake up to what's going on. This was government induced. Your agencies, your Illuminati types, you will know by then they've been the enemy the whole time, and they're basically going to be like, oh, well, you got a zombie problem, and for those of you who live, now you got to clean up our mess. Hopefully it takes you out too. They're sore losers. They lost. It is what it is. We'll pay the winning tax. Cool. All right, bye-bye. Side note, before I forget, and I'm going to probably say this multiple times, it should go without saying. I'm not going to say it should go without saying. Do not take any of those vaccines. Don't take any vaccines. That's basically lethal injection. Of course, they're not going to have a cure. You're going to have so many people becoming the walking dead, because I get it. They're going to get too scared. They're going to panic. Even if they've heard what I've said, they're going to be so scared, they're just going to try it. And that will be the end. This is an attack on humanity. They're trying to kill people. Do not take that vaccine. I'm trying to stress that. Now let's keep it real. This is the end. This is the end of America. This is the end of centuries and centuries of a demonic power. America is not the only place that's going to fall. Many evil places, evil factions around the world. It's up. It's done. It's that these next 15 years, it is over. So you're going to see a lot of celebrities dying. It's going to almost seem like every day. You're going to see a lot of Fortune 500 CEO types. You're going to see a lot of evil, powerful people. They're going to be dying. They're going to be getting death penalties. It's all happening. As you can see right now, they're waging war on the world with like weather warfare and the fire. I'm going to get into all of that because they think they slick. No, I'm finna call you out. I know what you're doing. All of this finna fall. So America, about half of it won't be livable, and the other half, or the other pieces, it will be divvied up. That it will be under new ownership. Some places could self-govern. There will be a lot of repatriations. You have some countries accepting refugees. There'll be safe places. They're gonna make some of them known, but when this is over, like, expect new rules, expect a new country. You could be in a kingdom. So I know Americans, when they think, hey, look, my Second Amendment right to bear arms, you have to understand that whole structure will be gone with America. You'll be subject to the new rules of the new land you live in. I've traveled the world. I've been in many different countries, and I've seen that personally. Like, that you're not going to be able to talk about your Declaration of Independence or your amendments or what America used to do. Like, this place will be done, and that's actually a good thing. I mean, not the way it's gonna happen. You don't want all of these people to die, but we would, the survivors at least, expect a new country, expect a better run country. This is a change of guard. This is good people who actually care about people. Those leaders will be leading the new lands. We are in a state of emergency. We are in a reality of emergency. A lot of people, they're going to be living like The Last of Us. I play the game and I watch the show. Some of these places are going to be lawless. Some places are going to be survival of the fittest. This is going to be ugly. They're going to hit the food. I can give you a quick rundown right quick, because they're going to hit the food. They're using weather warfare to make as many people homeless as possible. That's what all of this stuff is about. All of the taking away Section 8, which is understandable to a degree, but the massive layoffs, they're doing that because the homeless will be the most vulnerable to this. And with all of this weather warfare, they're destroying the infrastructure. So, like, medical supplies and food is going to be hard to get to you. And so even when you get the food, it's going to be spiked. They're doing that right now in low dosages. When you look at their rundown of this disease, they're saying it's a pathogenic virus that could start in animals, which means they're going to put it in animals. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of food you can't trust. It's going to be mad cow disease on steroids. So even if you can get food, you're going to have to pray it's not infected or laced. Now, expect this food list to grow. All right. Beer, alcohol. They got that. Beer and alcohol, you might want to stay away from that in the coming days, years. Orange juice, fruit juice in general, and fruit. You don't want to mess with that. They're going to hit it. Pizza. Nearly everywhere it's going to be in pizza. Pizza is a big one. Chips and snacks, especially tortillas, but definitely the chips and snacks. I think they already mentioned that, but I'm just saying it again. Coffee, they're going to get the coffee. They're going to get the milk, even almond milk. Milk will be hit. Burgers, the beef. No. Some seafood, I think some seafood will be okay. We're going to put an asterisk by that. I'm not completely sure, but I know they're hitting the water. So vodka, I said alcohol, soda. There's more on that. We're gonna get the soda. But yeah, that's one. Hot dogs, sandwiches, especially in your delis. Now would be a good time to stop smoking. The cigarettes gonna get hit. If I'm not mistaken, because I did some research on this, they're already made with some kind of rat material, cigarettes and like marijuana. So watch out for that. Donuts, and the one that shocked me, raw food. A lot of the raw food, a lot of the raw vegetables are gonna get hit. They're gonna get spiked. They're gonna hit the water. So this is gonna be an excuse to turn off the water. They are waging the worst war on humanity. Watch a movie called Batman Begins. It'll shock you. So that's just a little rundown of some of the things I found. I'm sure expect that list to grow. Let's pivot a little bit because it's a lot of information that I got to get out. What a coincidence. The most talked about generation online right now is Generation Z. Gen Z. I just recently heard about a Gen Z stare. Like, it's thrown in your face if you're paying attention. Those intelligence agencies. Anyway, mobile phones, the signals will go down. I think I may have a solution to that. I don't want to speak on it yet. I'm still doing my research, but expect the signal to go down. I mean, yeah. So that's why I want you to watch my videos. So when it do go down, you'll pretty much already know some things to do to survive and maintain, which is I wouldn't say a segue, but the other thing is, God forbid any of you or your family members turn into a zombie, because that is basically that is death, and that's what we don't want to happen. But you have to know this: in order to free a soul, you have to set the body on fire. I mean, I would suggest anybody who died get cremated. But when you set the body on fire, zombies need fire. That cracks the Pokeball. Right? So the soul can leave the body if you light it on fire. The problem is they already have swarms of zombies in the world right now as we speak. I'll tell you how they're hiding it in another video, but they're not going to be able to set all these zombies on fire. In fact, you're not even supposed to know any of this, but fire frees the soul. If you do not free that soul, that's a 900-year mind-only sentence. You'll basically be suffering with them. So make sure you light fire to your loved ones if they pass over. You want that soul out of that body. That is crucial. All right? You crack that Pokeball and set the soul free. Side note, I wouldn't put anybody in caskets, and I definitely wouldn't put a tombstone over their grave. You know, we've just been cultured to just do that. When I theorize it traps souls, as well as, you know, stones can even act like tethers. They want to act like they don't understand why certain cameras pick up on souls at graveyards. They play us for a fool, and they pretty much get away with it. So they literally charge you about $10,000 for a soul trapping casket. You see, this is the kind of information that's going to get out, and it's going to piss people off. Just lay them in the soul. Hopefully the best bet is the soul has already left the body. That's what we can hope for. That is, if you don't like having their ashes, at least. Okay, I didn't want this video to be too long, but I guess it's needed. I'm gonna do a quick rundown of places you should leave and places you should go. I'll do a better video later. This is just something quick. Los Angeles, come on. Los Angeles, east of Los Angeles, the whole Southern Cal, San Bernardino Valley, Palm Springs, them Illuminati havens. So it's a lot of Illuminati out there. You've probably seen them if you live over there in the Bernardinos, the Palm Springs, but definitely the suburbs of LA. I used to live in Pasadena, Rancho Cucamonga, all of that right side, all the way to Bakersfield, Riverside, all of that. Get out. South of that, Orange County, Anaheim, all the way down Laguna Beach, the OC, San Diego. Get out of all of that area is done. Done. Okay, quickly. Okay, where can you go? Bay Area. It's safe. Keep in mind, you don't know how the real world looks. You don't know how the real world looks. They seem connected. I know that. Bay Area, the Pacific Northwest, those are safe places. You can get to your Seattle. You can get to your, even Vancouver, your Idahos, your Wyoming, Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah is a good place. I don't know what Jackson Hole is. That's a good place. But Bay Area, you want to be in the Bay Area. You want the Oaklands, the San Frans, the Silicon Valley. That's the worst you'll have to worry about is the people panicking. New York, this goes without saying. Your whole state is done, especially Manhattan. If you are on that island of Manhattan, when they let those bridges up, checkmate. I don't know what to tell you. And absolutely, this is why I did this. Do not go in the subway. They got them housed underground. The subway is going to get hit very, very hard. So when they're guarding them bridges, they know some people are going to come up with the idea of hitting the subway. And that's where they're going to meet the fog. It's pathogenic, and it's a bunch of walkers there. Get out of Boston. See, everything basically east of Texas is done. I think Maine and Nova Scotia is a safe place. I think those are the closest places you can get to. Not Vermont, Maine, maybe Nova Scotia. I don't know how they'll do with the whole country refugee thing. Another safe place is Miami. Surprisingly, Miami will be a safe place. Your Cape Corals, your Hollywood, Florida, anything pretty much south, Sarasota and south. Sarasota is in St. Petersburg is still a little too close to Tampa to me, because I know Tampa, no, that's a no-go. They got 2 hurricanes for a reason. You want to be Cape Coral. See, and this got me theorizing about the Everglades, because I know they made that. But Miami will be safe. The Florida Keys will be safe. Not the Caribbean islands. That's a no-go. Maybe if you can even get the Merida, Mexico. I'm still looking at that Mexico area, Tulum, Playa del Carmen. I'm not sure about Cancun, but I know Merida is a good place. Bermuda is a good place. I don't know if they'll let you in, but that should be a safe place. Pretty much the rest of the East Coast is done. I would expect Louisiana to get called out first, because they're going to have it really bad. And the thing is, in Louisiana, because it has a lot of bad karma there, they may even quarantine that state the way you can't even leave the state. Don't be surprised if Louisiana's first. Texas, get out of East Texas. San Antonio, your Corpus Christi's, your Austins, your Houstons. I wouldn't trust Dallas. Get out of the entire South. Get out of Atlanta. That's probably the biggest one. Atlanta is a big no-go. I used to live there. I grew up some of my childhood in Atlanta. Northern Florida, done. Get out of Jacksonville. Northern Florida is done, period. Anything north of Sarasota, I would not be there. North Carolina, your South Carolinas, your Baltimore, Memphis, it's over. No Memphis, no Missouri, no Kansas City, no St. Louis, the entire Midwest, no Ohio, period. And I love Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati so much. Cincinnati's in my heart. No. Look, I was born in Detroit. No go. They've been left that place to be a wasteland. I'm mentioning Detroit for a reason. You know, I know people there. Detroit, you gotta get out. Chicago, gone. Nearly the entire East, which is where most people live. No goes, no Pennsylvania, no New Jerseys. They planning on leveling that entire eastern part. So I'll do a bigger dive into that. There's still some places I'm not sure of. There's some other countries as well that I gotta mention. I'll just say this: Toronto, get out. Toronto is gonna get hit very, very hard. That's in Canada, I know. You don't want to be in Toronto. I'm probably missing something. Something quick. Maybe I know China's getting hit hard as well. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do another video on that, and I can go more in depth. But it definitely, if you're east of that Mississippi River, but Texas is getting hit too. I would not trust Denver. You want to be West Coast and Northwest. That's my recommendation. No Southern California. Go Pacific Northwest. Hawaii and Alaska, you're fine. I know Cal, Nevada, Reno should be good. That area is good up there. I'm not sure about Vegas don't go to Phoenix. I'm not sure about Vegas. I'm not sure about the Grand Canyon area, because those are two areas I know that they'll have a future, but I'm not sure how bad they'll be impacted. All of this is still a work in progress. So you definitely want to get to the Pacific Northwest. I know that's pretty much good. So I think I did mention the South. You don't want to be anywhere in the American South. They made it affordable for a reason. They made the South very affordable for a reason. That's a honeypot. All right. Atlanta, your Alabamas, your Mississippis, your Carolinas, no South. Listen, please do not let the devil win in your life, because this is basically the closest thing to a permadeath. All right. Do not let the devil win in your life. Get the safety. You have about 5 years, 2030. You don't want to be in a panic with everybody else. This is Charmaine Santier from Lottoriddles. I forgot to even say that. That's how urgent this was. So come back and see me.